So you can rest your block over on the right side of your mat. And then go ahead and come down onto your back. So start with your knees bent, feet wider than hips, and allow your knees to knock in towards each other. Find a nice long spine, so draw your chin in towards your throat. Open across the front of the chest. Take one hand and place it on the bottom of your rib cage. So where that downward facing V kind of meets at the center, and the other hand on your lower belly. You can either close your eyes or just soften your eyes. Begin to shift your awareness to whatever sensations bring you into the now. My newest obsession for sensation is sound. So for me, I like to allow my awareness to span throughout my entire room, noticing what unique sounds pop into my mind space, noticing how they bubble up and then pass just as quickly. And that my awareness can sometimes reach beyond my room and go out into my surroundings beyond my house. It's funny, so oftentimes we want quiet when we kind of tune in or practice mindfulness or meditation. But using the sense of sound is just a way to connect to the present, and that awareness of how quickly it passes for me has been such a good meditation technique. And as you allow your mind to come into the present, start to shift your awareness to your breath. And noticing where your hands are placed at the bottom of your rib cage and at the top, right above your pubic bone. Just notice if there's one region where you feel more or less of your breath, and neither is right or wrong. Just notice. Notice the rate of your breath. So noticing the full length of your inhalation, beginning, middle, end, the pause, and then the full length of your exhale. Stay aware, beginning, middle, end, and maybe a slightly longer pause. Notice the first moment that your mind moves away from your breath. Where does it go? Can you bring it back to whatever portion of the breath, other cycle of the breath, as you continue to cycle through? And switch, bringing the hands to the sides of your rib cage. And if you're able to keep your chest open, you can rest the heels of the hands. If not, just turn the fingers so they're pointing down towards the floor, and rest the back of your fingers on the sides of your rib cage, just lightly. And then begin to notice the movement of the breath in this region. And it may be barely there, and that's fine. Just notice that. But if you do sense movement, do you sense that one side is a little bit more recognizable? Maybe it pushes out into your fingers before the other side does. And as you notice that, make a note of which side that is and just keep it kind of in the back of your mind as we move through the practice. I will try to remember to remind you, but usually we have one side that's a little less there. And as we move through twist, just notice if that correlates with what you find right now. Release your hands down beside your body. Walk your feet in line with your sit bones. Straighten your right leg long to the ground. Bend your left knee towards your right shoulder. Reach across with your right hand, grab the outside of your knee. Use your right hand to guide your knee all the way over and rest it on the block. So you have different heights of your block. You can adjust to a comfortable height for you. Want your entire left side or right side of your body resting on the floor. Your head, if it's uncomfortable, you can prop it up on a blanket. Lower your right shoulder down away from your ear and just allow the arm to stretch out long so that your wrist is in line with your shoulder. And then reach across and touch your left palm to your right hand. So you're resting on the right side of your body. Ear, shoulder, hip, knee, and ankle are all in one line. As you inhale, scrape your fingers up the forearm, up the upper arm, across the chest, and then straighten your left arm behind you. As you exhale, bend the elbow, take the hand across the chest and down the arm, touch palm to palm. So we've done this a lot. Just allow yourself to move with your breath. Fingers brush up your arm, across your chest, and then arm reaches straight behind you. Maybe hand touches, maybe it doesn't. As you exhale, roll it back. So as you continue this movement, your left knee is pressing down into the block. So actively press the knee into the block. And you'll notice this helps to stabilize the pelvis so that the left hip stays directly stacked on top of the right hip. So as we talked about at the beginning, the pelvis stays in neutral. As we start to create mobility, rotation in the middle of your spine. So kind of in that region where the bottom of your rib cage meets your spine. One more time, take it up the arm, across the chest, reach it back and pause here. Start to reach your left fingers away from your body. So you're creating more of a twist, but only as far as you can. Relax the neck. Breathing fully into your rib cage with your knee still on the block. Take 2 more breaths here, directing the breath deep into the lungs. So take it low and breathe into the space of the side of the rib cage where your fingers were. Reach the hand back across. And then we're going to switch sides. So come onto your back. Switch the block to the left side of your mat. Straighten your left leg long to the ground. Bend your right knee towards your left shoulder and reach across, grab the outside of your knee. Use your hand to guide your knee to rest on your block. The knees at least hip height, maybe navel height. Check to make sure your ear, your shoulder, your hip, your knee, your ankle are all in one line on the left side of your body. Reach your left arm straight out from your left shoulder and touch your right palm on top. Right hip stays stacked on top. Brush your fingers up your arm as you inhale, reach across your chest and then behind you. As you exhale, bend your elbows, take it back across your chest and down your arm, palms touch. So go ahead and continue this rotation. We use the breath to help create more mobility. So reaching the arm back on the inhale and twisting and touching palm together on the exhale. As you continue this movement, continue to press your right knee into the block. So you're actively engaging your inner thighs to help stabilize your pelvis in neutral so that you can create more movement, more rotation in your rib cage. The next time you rotate open, stay open. Take a deep breath deep into your lungs. And as you exhale, reach the fingers away from you a little bit more. Your shoulder may reach further towards the floor. Don't force it. So the way that you know that you're forcing it is that your breath becomes compromised or the pelvis starts to rock backwards. So only go as far as your mobility allows you to. Go ahead and bend the elbow, take the arm back down, touch palms, and we're going to roll back onto our backs. So we moved from the upper part of our body. Now we're going to move from the lower part of our body, but the rotation still happens in the same region. So take your block and place it between your knees. Find neutral curves of your spine. So your lower back is slightly off the floor. Inhale, and as you exhale, lift your knees above your hips. Shins parallel to the floor, so knees are bent at 90 degrees. Stretch your arms out to the side, T to the body, palms face up. That means we have to use our core a little bit more. Squeeze the block. Inhale here, keeping the left shoulder on the ground. Shift your knees about halfway to the right. Pause here. So left shoulder stays on the ground. Rib cage, left rib cage is rolling towards the ground. It won't touch, but in that direction. So that's your obliques that are stabilizing the upper body down. Come back to center. Squeeze the block, inhale. As you exhale, take your knees halfway to the left, press your right shoulder down and rotate the rib cage towards the right. Notice if you feel a difference. This is very telling. Think of what you felt when you were breathing. Inhale, come back to center. We start to move with this. So as you exhale, take your knees to the right halfway, roll your rib cage to the left. Inhale to center. Knees to the left. Upper body rolls to the right. Shoulder stays down. Inhale back to center. Continue this for 2 more cycles, just exploring. How does your body organize to coordinate this? Does one side organize a little bit better? Do you have to think a little bit more? Come back to center. Exhale, drop both knees to the right. Pause and straighten the left leg. Keep rolling your left side body towards the floor. Bend the knee, come back to center. Exhale, drop the knees to the left, rotate to the right, straighten the right leg. Bend the knee, roll back to center. So do this a couple of more times. As you take the knees in one direction, straighten the top leg, keep rolling your upper body towards the floor. Come back to center, to the left. Rotate, straighten top leg. Last time to the right. And as you continue to do this, notice what changes. Notice if it becomes a little bit more organized. Come back to center. Release the block between your knees and bring your feet to the ground. Roll to either side. You're going to take your block and drop it off at the front of your mat. Come to hands and knees. Tuck your toes under, spread your fingers wide, and lift your hips up and back to downward facing dog. Feet are wider than hip distance apart. Press the tops of your leg bones way back and lift and spread your sit bones. Turn your left heel in so it's pointing towards your right toes. Take the heel towards the floor. Bend your right knee deeply to the left. Push your hips to the right. Press a little bit more through your right hand. Press a little bit more through your left hand. Breathe into your left side body. Come back onto your toes. Turn your right heel in so it's facing your left toes. As you drop the heel to the floor, push your left knee to the right. Push your hips to the left. Push a little bit more through the left hand. Push a little bit more through the right hand. Inhale, come back up. Left heel turns in and down. Right knee points to the left, hips to the right. Push strongly through both hands. Inhale, come back up. Right heel turns in, left knee points to the right, hips shift to the left. Push through both hands strongly. Inhale, come back up. Come high up onto your toes. Walk to the front of your mat into a forward fold. Step your feet about hip distance apart. Bend your knees, lift up halfway. Move your shoulder blades down your back. Exhale, hinge, fold, head falls towards the floor. Grab your opposite elbow and hang. Knees can be bent or straight. Start to rotate your right elbow away from your right foot. Left elbow moves towards, twist, and gaze under your right arm. Come back to center. Left elbow shifts forward, right elbow shifts towards your shin, twist, and gaze under your left bicep. Hips don't move, right? So we're rotating in the rib cage. Release back to center. Bend your knees, lift up halfway. Press through your feet and stand up. Feet are about shoulder distance apart, so a little bit wider than the hips. Reach your arms up and over your head. Grab your left wrist with your right hand. Push your hips out to the right, only a side bend, right? So we're staying in this lateral plane. Side bend to the right, hips move to the left. Turn your head and gaze beyond the side of your right foot. Now, hips stay facing forward. Rotate your rib cage to the right. So now we added rotation. From here, start to take your head and your hands towards the floor. Drop your hands through the center and rotate up through your left. Grab your right wrist. Side bend first, only a side bend. So stay in that single plane. Hips move to the right. Turn your head to the left. Gaze beyond the side of your foot. Keep the hips squared forward. Rotate the rib cage towards your left foot. Then start to drop your head and your hands towards the floor. Rotate through center and all the way back up. Can you recreate that rotation up and out of it? I'm gonna try it one more time. Grab your left wrist. Side bend to the right, hips to the left. Gaze, rotate rib cage, twist down through center, rotate back up. Switch wrists. Grab right wrist. Side bend to the left, hips to the right. Look down, rotate ribs, rotate through center, come up and through. Release your hands to your hips. Feet come back to sit bone distance apart or toes touch. Inhale, reach up, stretch up. As you exhale, knees bent or straight, hinge from your hips, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Step your right foot to the back of your mat. Drop your knee to the ground. Keep your toes tucked under. Inhale, rise up, Anjaneyasana. Grab your right wrist, side bend to the left. Stabilize your pelvis. Inhale, reach the arms back up. Shift the hip back so it's directly over your knee. Walk your left leg forward, straighten the legs, flex the ankle. Drag the heel as you hinge forward, hands to the floor or you have your block. Pull the heel back, pull the toes towards your heel, reach your head and your chest towards your right foot. Inhale, and as you exhale, maybe move a little deeper. Notice what happens to your hips. Notice if your hips pop out to either side. Work on keeping your hips neutral rather than trying to fold deeper, right? I'm more worried about the hips staying centered rather than going deeper. Bring your left foot to the ground. Inhale, rise up, Anjaneyasana. Grab your right wrist, side bend to the left. Inhale, reach up. As you exhale, straighten the left leg, either hands to the floor or hands reach back, balance. Inhale, shift forward, Anjaneyasana. Grab your right wrist, side bend to the left. Inhale, up. Exhale, send the hips back. Straighten the left leg, toes towards head, head towards toes. One more time. Inhale, lift up. Grab your right wrist. Side bend. Reach the arms up, straighten the front leg. Reach hands back or to the floor, head towards foot. Inhale, come back up. Untuck the toes. Knee above ankle, hip above knee. Stabilize. So squeeze your inner thighs towards each other. Pull the left heel back, push the right knee forward. Inhale, stretch long. Exhale, twist. Right hand reaches forward, left hand reaches towards the back of your mat. Inhale up. Exhale, twist. Notice pelvis stays neutral. Twist comes from mid-spine. Inhale up. One more time, twist, hold. Inhale, stretch through your fingers. As you exhale, reach your right hand forward as you start to lean forward. Inhale here. Exhale, stretch the hand forward, lean a little bit more. Bring your right hand inside of your left foot. Tuck your right toes under. Lift your right knee. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Hand reaches up towards the sky. Rotate your rib cage towards the sky. Stabilize pelvis. Hand to the front of the room. Reach arm over ear. Look down at your left foot. Hands on either side of your left foot. Step to the back of the mat, downward facing dog. Step your feet mat distance apart. Step your feet up about a footprint. Push the tops of your thigh bones back. Lift and spread your sit bones. Look towards your right foot. Inhale. As you exhale, reach your left hand to grab either behind your knee, your calf, or your ankle. Notice where your hips go. Press your right hand down. Inhale. Exhale, gaze into your right arm and twist only as far as you can keep your hips in that center line. Release your left foot. Step your feet back into your down dog position. Inhale, reach your right leg up and back. Exhale, round knee to nose. Step your right foot to your right thumb. Drop your left knee to the ground. Toes stay tucked. Inhale, reach your arms over your head. Stabilize. So squeeze your inner thighs together. Heel pulls back, knee pushes forward. Grab your left wrist. Side bend to the right. Come back up. Walk your right foot forward. As you exhale, hinge, flex your ankle. Hands either to the floor or the block. Pull the heel back, squeeze the thighs together, stretch your chest towards your foot. Notice what happens to your hips. Are you compromising the obliques by pushing the hips side to side? Bring the foot to the floor. Shift forward, arms come over your head. Grab your left wrist, side bend to the right. Inhale up, exhale, send the hips back. Hands either to the floor or reach back as head reaches forward. Inhale, shift forward, Anjaneyasana, stabilize the pelvis, grab the wrist, side bend to the right. Inhale up, shift the hips back, head, chest, reach towards foot. One more time, inhale, grab the wrist, side bend, watch the hips. Exhale, send the hips back, reach back. Inhale, arms come over your head, hip above knee, heel below knee, arms reach up, squeeze the thighs together, twist to the right, right hand reaches back, left hand reaches forward. Inhale, come back up. Two more times. Really pay attention. How much are you using your hips to create this twist? So you're twisting towards your inner right thigh. One more time, twist open, hold. Keep stretching through your fingers, keep squeezing thighs together. Start to reach the left hand forward as you tilt towards your left hand. One more time, reach, tilt. Bring your right hand inside of your left hand inside of your right foot. Tuck your left toes under, lift the knee. Notice if that right hip pops out, hug it in, squeeze the thighs together. Arm reaches straight up, rotate ribs towards your top hand. Turn the palm to the front and then reach arm over ear. So notice if your head's looking down, this is a twist. So rotate your left rib cage up towards your right rib cage to really use what we're working on. Both hands to the floor on either side of your right foot. Step your left foot up beside your right foot. Inhale, shift the hips back, knees forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, press down, lift up, arms come over your head. Grab your left wrist, side bend to the right, hips to the left. Rotate ribs down, and then move through that circle. Come back up through your left. Grab your right wrist, side bend to the left, hips to the right. Head turns, rib turns, rotate through center. Come back up. Drop the hands beside the hips. Heels either sit bone distance apart or toes touch. Inhale, reach up, stretch up. Exhale, hinge from your hips, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Bend your right knee slightly. Step your left foot back. Keep your right knee bent as you press down to lift all the way up. So take the time to organize this. Your back foot, your left foot should be far enough forward that both hips can point squared straight forward towards the front of your mat. Your feet are most likely hip distance apart. Shoulders rotate forward, ribs rotate forward. Straighten both legs. So press firmly through both legs to straighten. Inhale, reach both arms over your head. Keep your hips squared forward. twist, reach your right arm back, left arm forward. Inhale, come back up. Exhale again, twist, hips stay facing forward, right hand reaches back, left hand reaches forward. Inhale, come up. Exhale again, twist, hold. Inhale, arms up. This time as you twist, hinge a little bit. Inhale, come back up. This time as you exhale, hinge a little bit more. So left hand's reaching towards the floor, right hand's reaching up and back. One more time, twist. Bring your hand to the floor or the block, coming into Parivriti Trikonasana. So we inched our way down. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Rotate left rib cage towards right. Right hand reaches up towards the sky. Notice what you notice. Look down at your right foot, bend your right knee. Hand to the floor, the block reaches out in front. Hug your right hip in. So notice if it starts to pop out, use your hip muscles, use your obliques to push that hip back. Transition Ardha Chandrasana. So right leg straightens as left leg kicks up and back. Notice if that left hip drops, take it as high as the right and rotate from the rib cage. Bend the knee, step the foot to the back of the mat, step back, down dog. Step your feet wide and a foot forward. Press a little bit more through your left hand. Look at your left foot. Keep your hips where they are. Right hand comes off the ground, reaches to the back of the knee, calf, or ankle. Shift the hips back to center. Inhale. Exhale, rotate, head under left arm. Keep the legs strong. Keep the hips centered. Release hand back to the floor. Step your feet back and in the center to down dog. Inhale, lift your left leg up and back, three-legged dog. Round knee to nose, step your left foot up between your hands. Step your right foot slightly forward to drop your heel down. Bend your left knee to push down to lift up. So do the same thing. Where do your feet need to be that you can square your hips forward, chest forward, ribs forward. Feet press down strongly, legs strengthen, arms come over your head. 3 times, twist in this upright position. Left arm reaches back, right arm reaches forward. Inhale up. So as you do this, notice what happens to your hips. Try squeezing your inner thighs towards each other a little bit more. Last time, twist, hold, squeeze, reach through your left fingers a little bit more without letting that right hip round forward. Inhale up. This time we start to hinge. So as you twist, hinge, chest forward a little bit. Come back up. A little bit more this time. Come up. Squeeze thighs together. Twist, hinge, hold. Start to reach right hand to the floor or block inside your left foot. Left hand reaches up towards the sky. Squeeze, center the hips, rotate right rib cage towards left rib cage. Good. Notice what you notice. How's the rib cage freeing? How's the spine freeing? Look down at your right foot. Bend your, I think that's your left foot. Bend your left knee. And then transition Ardha Chandrasana. So hand sneaks forward a little bit, straighten your left leg, reach your right leg up and back. Right hand reaches, or left hand reaches up towards the sky. Left hand reaches up towards the sky. Rib cage rotates up towards the sky. So sorry, that's Ardha Chandrasana Parivriti. So it's the twist. Bend the left knee, step the right foot up beside the left foot. Exhale, hinge forward. Step your feet about shoulder distance apart. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, fold. Press down through your feet, lift all the way up, arms come over your head. Grab your right wrist, side bend to the left. Turn the head, turn the ribs, rotate up, down, and up. Switch wrist. Side bend to the right, rotate to the right, rotate through and up. Reach both hands up, hands down beside the hips. Step your feet together. So big toes touch. Send your knees forward as you send your hips back. Reach your arms over your head. Imagine like we did at the beginning with the block between our knees, squeeze the block together. As you exhale, keep the knees pointing forward. Right hand reaches back, left hand reaches forward, and then take the left hand, touch the outside of your right knee. Notice where your hips go. Sweep back up, twist the opposite way. Twist to the left. Left hand reaches back, right hand reaches forward. Send the hip, right hip back. Touch, right hand to the outside of knee. One more time, inhale up. Twist, touch left hand to right knee. Swing arms up, twist, left hand back, right hand forward. Tap knee. Both arms come up over your head. Exhale, hinge, fold. Inhale, come up halfway. Hands to the floor, step to the back of the mat, plank pose. Step your feet wide. Shoulders stay above your wrist. Push the floor away. Drop your heels to the right. Inhale, back to center. Drop your heels to the left. Inhale, back to center. Again to the right. Notice how much shifting is happening in your shoulders and minimize it. At least to shift forward so your shoulders are above your wrists. Yep. One more time to the left. Good. Notice where the rotation is happening. It should happen in that mid spine, not in the shoulders. Lower the knees to the floor and then lower all the way down to the floor. Take your hands wide, elbows above your wrists, up on fingertips, press feet down, thighs down, hips down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, down. Press feet down, thighs down, hips down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower. Legs pressing down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower. Hands underneath your shoulders. Press up through hands and knees and back to downward facing dog. Weight to your left foot, lift your right leg up and back. Keep your shoulders squared towards the floor. Bend your right knee. Rotate from your rib cage, knee towards the sky, heel towards your left hip. Keep twisting upper body towards the floor. Inhale, straighten the legs, square the hips. One time, exhale, shift forward to plank, twist, knee to left elbow. Inhale, reach the leg up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale, round knee to nose. Step right foot up between your hands. Lower your left heel down and in. Right knee above right ankle joint, rise up, Virabhadrasana 1. Notice where the hips are. Rotate open, Virabhadrasana 2. Stretch your arms long. So knees above ankle joint, tailbones pointing down. Really concentrate on rotating your rib cage towards the long edge of your mat. So this is fun. Stretch the arms long. Watch. Can you see me? Watch, because I'm going to show this first because it's unique. So we're going to take this back leg. We're going to move and transition into a rotated twist. So you're gonna catch your left knee in your right hand. The rib cage is gonna stay facing the long edge of your mat, right? And then we'll step back. We'll do that 3 times. So Virabhadrasana 2. You're gonna keep your rib cage squared towards the front of the mat, or the long edge of the mat. The knee faces the short edge of the mat. Step it back. Again, shift. Knee faces forward, rib cage faces long edge of the mat. Step it back. Try it one more time. Keep your rib cage facing in the same direction. Knee faces forward, reach left hand back. Now twist your torso towards your left knee. Bend your right knee slightly. Shift, reaching left leg back, chest forward, Virabhadrasana 1. Knee, hip, face the floor. Flex the ankles, push the foot back, step back. Inhale, arms come over your head. Exhale, fold hands on either side of your front foot. Step back to plank. Lower either chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Scoop head, chest, forward and up. Exhale, press hips back, downward facing dog. So I skipped something, so we're gonna bring it in there. Step or hop to the front of your mat. Inhale, reach your arms up, come up. Toes together, knees together, hands to shoulders, knees press forward, hips back. So you're going into chair pose, but you're gonna keep sinking deeper. So core on. Eventually you're gonna have to come up onto your toe to come into a toe squat. So we're in this position again, right? Knees face forward, twist to the right. So as you twist to the right, pull the left knee back so it stays in line. Twist forward. Keep the knees together, pull the knee back as you twist to the right. Come back. Woo. Hands to the floor. Squeeze the knees together. Keep the knees pointing forward and walk both hands to the outside of your right thigh. Rest your right knee on your left elbow and your hip is on your right elbow. Bring the palms to the ground and lean. So lean, look down between your hands, keep that gaze, and then look forward. Notice what's happening to your left knee. Squeeze it. Pull the hip back. Use your obliques to twist, not the hip. Shift forward, maybe taking your weight onto your elbows. Come back. Twist back. Both hands to the ground, forward fold. Grab your elbows, hang, swing side to side. Keep your hips stable. Maybe you find that rotation as you swing side to side. Release the hands to the floor, step back into downward facing dog. Shift your weight to your right foot, lift your left leg up and back. Bend the knee, open the side body, push your shoulders towards the floor. Don't push, rotate. So the rib cage is where the twist happens. Square your hips, straighten your leg. As you exhale, twist, shoulders above wrist, knee to right elbow. Inhale, take it back, three-legged dog. Exhale, round knee to nose, step left foot up, drop right heel down and in. Inhale, rise up, Virabhadrasana 1, and then rotate open, Virabhadrasana 2. So left knee's bent. Rotate your torso towards the long edge of your mat. You're going to step your right foot forward as you straighten your left leg. Bend the knee, catch the knee, and rotate torso towards the long edge of your mat. Right hand reaches back. Step back, Virabhadrasana 2. And again, shift, catch the knee, reach back with the hand, rotate rib cage to the long edge of your mat. One more time, back, and then shift, catch the knee, twist. Bring your hands to heart, twist towards your right knee. Slight bend of your left knee. Transition, Virabhadrasana 3. Left leg straightens, right leg straightens. Hips square towards the floor. Bend your left knee slightly, step your right foot beside your left knee. Inhale, chair pulse. Sink a little deeper. Sink a little deeper until you come in that toe touch. Hands to the floor. Heels together, knees together, squeeze. Keep the knees pointing straight forward. Start to walk your hands over to the left. Notice as that right knee tries to sneak forward, pull it back. So you're using your obliques to pull the hip back. Touch your left hip with your left elbow, left knee with your right elbow, and then bring your palms to the ground. Notice if the knee sneaks, pull it back. Look between your thumbs and then take the gaze straight forward and lean into your elbows. Stretch the chest forward, shoulders down. Come back out. Hands come back to your shoulders. Hands to the ground. Straighten the legs, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale. Inhale, reach up, stretch up, arms come over your head. Exhale, hands through heart center. Hands to hips. So we're going to progress this movement. So know that you have the option to go back to what we just did. Inhale, stretch your arms over your head. Exhale, hinge from your hips, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, step back to plank. Step your feet wide, shoulders directly above your wrists. Engage your core. We're rotating from the rib cage, the bottom of the rib cage. Drop your heels to the left. Upper body doesn't move. Come back to center. Keep your rib cage where it is. Twist, heels to the left. Come back through center. One more time to the right. This is very little movement side to side. One more time to the left. Come back to center. Either knees to the floor or lower down, chaturanga. Hands wide, feet down, legs down, thighs down, lift up. Exhale down. Hands underneath your shoulders. Tuck the toes, either plank or up through hands and knees. Back down dog. Inhale, lift your right leg up and back, three-legged dog. Keep your rib cage facing down. Rotate right knee open. Square your shoulders down. Inhale, straighten the legs, square your hips. One time, shift forward to plank, twist, right knee to left elbow. Inhale, take it back, take it back. Exhale, round knee to nose, step right foot up between your hips. Lower your left heel down and in. Inhale, rise up, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, rotate open, Virabhadrasana 2. Transition, Left leg comes into that position, grab the knee, reach back with your left hand, maybe straighten your left leg. Bend the knee, Virabhadrasana 2. Exhale, transition, grab the knee, reach the left hand back, straighten the leg. Bend the knee, step it back. One more time, transition, grab the knee, rotate the rib cage, maybe grab your big toe and straighten left leg. Bend the knee, hands to heart, square forward. Arms reach forward over your head. Virabhadrasana 3. Shoulders, ribs, hips, square down. Step, left foot up beside right, chair pose. Keep arms overhead, sink deeper. Sink deeper. Sink deeper, toe squat. Squeeze your knees together, hands to your shoulders. Twist to your right. Hands to the floor. Position, elbow to knee, elbow to hip. So adjust. Pull your left knee back to touch your right. So use your obliques to pull the hip back. Look between the hands and then take the gaze straight forward. Lean, maybe lifting feet. If the feet lift, maybe bottom leg straightens straight forward, top leg straightens back. Good. Come down, come back to your toe squat, step to the back of your mat, down dog. I'm gonna watch this side. Good. Inhale, left leg lifts high, three-legged dog. Keep your shoulders square to the ground. Find the rotation in your rib cage to kick your heel towards your hip. Stretch your knee towards the sky, both Louise and Lisa. Good, nice. That feels good, right? Square your hips, straighten your legs. Exhale, shift forward, plank, knee to right elbow. All the way to plank, knee to right elbow. Good. Take it back, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Step your left foot up between your hands. Right heel down and in. Position the pelvis in neutral. Rise up, Virabhadrasana 1. Good. Rotate open, Virabhadrasana 2. Really taking the time to find the rib cage facing the long edge of the mat and left knee over your left heel. So we've got the little transition there. The right leg's gonna swing forward. You're gonna stand on your left leg and grab your outer knee, point it forward. Reach your right hand back as you twist open to the right. So the lovely thing is that obliques also help with balance. So this is kind of why we're doing this. Straighten the top leg and then step it back to Virabhadrasana 2. I know it's challenging. And again, step forward, grab the outer knee, straighten the leg. So you're going to do that 3 times. And you're all on different times. So I'll allow you to get to that third one. It's already getting better. Good. Once you get to that third one, maybe you reach down and grab your big toe with your left hand and take the Parivriti Padangusthasana. Nice. That looks great. Bend the knee and square forward. So chest squares forward. Bend your right knee or left knee slightly and shoot your right leg back as you come into Virabhadrasana 3. Arms can either reach back or forward. Find the rotation of the hips squared towards the floor, ribs squared towards the floor, knee and toe squared towards the floor. Good. Step your right foot up beside your left, coming into chair pose. Hands to your shoulders. Send the knees forward as you send the hips back and slowly descend till you find your way into that toe squat. Check your knees, squeeze them together. Check your hips, twist to the left. Don't let the hips go. So use your obliques. Awesome. You can stay here or bring your hands down to the floor and position hip to knee or elbow to hip, elbow to knee. Look down between your hands, then take your gaze straight forward, chest forward. Lean, make sure right hip is on top of left. Maybe you find your arm balance. If you do, straighten the bottom leg as you reach the top leg back. Nice, Emily. Yeah, that's my same on that. I can't do it on that side. Good. All right, forward fold. Grab your opposite elbow, maybe feet wide, and do that little swing again. Just notice your rotation here. And as you swing, try to minimize the leaning of the hips and let the rotation again from the rib cage. Step your feet wider, toes out. Come into Malasana. Send your arms forward. Lean back as slowly as you can to bring your hips to the floor and Navasana. Cross your right ankle under your left ankle. Reach with your right hand and grab your right big toe. Work towards straightening your legs. Squeeze the thighs together. Reach left hand back. Maybe you stay there and let go of your foot. Bend the knees. Switch, left foot on the bottom. Reach across, first two fingers, grab your left big toe. Move towards straightening your leg, squeeze, reach right hand back. Maybe let go of your foot and stay up. Bend the knees, hug the knees in, roll on your spine. All right. However you want to get there, Shavasana. So as you arrive in Shavasana, shift to make sure you find an even amount of weight side to side. Nice neutral spine. And then I'll invite you to once again come into that space of sensation and open your mind, open your ears to your sense of sound. And use that as a touchstone to your present. So search the room, beyond the house, for every little sound. Hear it, and when it leaves, let it go. And where does your mind go? Have you maintained that connection to the sense of sound, or has your mind gone somewhere else? And if it has, that's fine. Recognize where it's gone and then find a way to reconnect to now. And slowly invite movement back into your body, moving in a way that would feel pleasing to your body now. And then continuing to move in a way that feels natural to you. Find your way back up into a seated position. Take your time. Enjoy each step of the process to get there. Acknowledge each step of the process to get there. When you arrive, slowly bring hands to meet at heart center. That sense of self, greeting self. And bow into the space of your hearts, acknowledging this time that you've made to explore the power of the obliques, what they do. And if you're able to sense it without taking your hands there, just notice the area on the sides of your rib cage. Consciously bring the breath into that region and just sense if it's a little bit easier to breathe. Is that tendency to one side, has it shifted? It would be a miracle if it shifted completely. So don't think that's what's supposed to happen, but maybe you notice a little bit of improvement. Thank you. Namaste.